This is your WW3 News. Politics and illegal immigration. With certain political sphere, especially on the lefties, they tend to defend the interests of these so-called newcomers instead of the people who they voted in that constituency, right? And obviously, collusions with certain ethnic minorities, especially Islamic fundamentalism, and those things, we have seen it from the last pro-Palestinian police operation here in Italy, which most politicians had friendships with these organisations, which resulted in the end they were collecting funds to finance Hamas, a terrorist group, not for the civilian population in Gaza. And the other half they kept it in their pockets. And this strange kind of partnership, or whatever you can call it, in should say community or society. For example, you have close institutional connections with this type of fundamentalism, encouraging these people, giving them more space instead of giving them space for, those who integrate, those who don't cause trouble, those who contribute in society. Instead, these lefty politicians don't encourage insight to spread this, I should say, faith, which has only hate towards others in the story. If seen it in a extremism optic, should say, and probably one of the things which probably pisses people off really is in schools, where we should have guaranteed minimum levels of education. You know what they do? They teach Italian kids, like probably any other Western country in Europe, to read the Quran without the consent of the guardians of the kids. If I want my kids to attend to reading the Quran, would it give consent or not? You cannot force youngsters into it to do things, and therefore you brainwash. In this case, you should force Muslim kids to learn the Bible. In this case, it would be fair, but it's not like this at all. Because at the end of the day, it's only this lunacy of the far left which has only incited, has only encouraged, and when they're in government, passively speaking, they've done nothing to curb this phenomenon and all the repercussions: mass immigration, illegals they bring, poverty and criminality. That's what they bring. End of story. And the people must be courageous to speak out about these problems, because as soon as you start fronting these stupid lefty cocksuckers, they get up their arseholes, people, they dishing out shit. The problem does not exist. They are integrated, your race doesn't matter, bullshit. I ask myself, do these people, do they know the reality of what surrounds them? Or they're too busy living la la land? I think it's most probably the second. They live in la la land, this type of politicians. It's only right to blame these politicians for the mess our society, this phenomenon brings, which is totally out of control in the last few decades. Like I said, all the problems they bring, criminality, poverty, and so on. Because here in Italy, 90% of these people do not work, only 10%. It's obviously, it's more convenient for them to live off the welfare system of that country. You've got the lefties which are inciting these people. And all the violence we see in the West, United Kingdom, Italy, Germany, everywhere, from these people. Last not least from here in Italy. I think it was Modena, a city in the north of Italy. A few days ago, a disabled woman was a victim of sexual violence by a Moroccan citizen, which result he was illegal, and God knows if he had an expulsion order on his head and even a criminal record. Because let's face it, our Western prisons, 60% are filled up with foreigners. It differs from nation to nation, the type of nationalities, but more or less is around about a percentage there.